All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and salutations unto all the Akim. You brothers preaching this word in truth and in sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And Shalom also unto the hopeful elect, you sincere believers scattered wherever you may be. All right, so the title of this one, Lord willing, is just going to be a quick hit through the Spirit, inspired off a conversation the Akim and I were having earlier. Essentially just going into our health and going into getting right, man. Staying active, being on top of things spiritually, and also when it comes to our temples physically, because they go hand in hand, you know. And the topic of health is always something the apostles, bishops, elders go into, because it works in unison, bro. You know, when you're feeling good in the body, it's gonna up your spirit. So title is Clean Up the Crib. All right, clean up the crib. Because this bayath, the house that we have, is a dwelling place for the spirit right now. All right, let's read it. 1 Corinthians 3:16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High? It says, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you. All right, and the Lord gifted us these bodies, man. All right, and even though we may have ailments, we may have things that aren't 100% on your body, you know, whether it be externally, internally, you name it. The Lord gave us tools, all right, weapons to combat it, to lessen the blow, so to speak. You know what I mean? And you know, diet, exercise being the two crucial things we could do for our temples. You know, speaking first and foremost to myself, walking, all right, weightlifting, whatever type of exercise you may do. You know, brothers may be in a HIIT, CrossFit. I know the Chicago brothers into the BJJ. You know, boxing. I know brothers that box. These different things. Play ball, run. Some brothers may like to run. Point is, they're active. You know, and the scriptures say, bodily exercise profiteth little. But nonetheless, it profiteth. It's going to profit. It's going to profit, bro. You know, and fueling up the car with that right gas, that premium gas, is going to do wonders for us, bro, you know, and enjoying your cheat meals in moderation. All right, having the BS, because, Jake love chicken and yam. You know, it's just how we are, how we're wired. But we can't be eating that shit every single day, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fried chicken or burgers or, you know, whatever your quote unquote comfort food is. And that's why we got to have discipline over this flesh, because, hey, they call it comfort food for a reason. You know what I mean? And you overindulging in it, us overindulging in that, you're going to become slothful. You're going to become lazy in doing it. You know, it could fuck up your health regimen. All right, because all them seed oils, all the information that shit brings, just for a temporary fix, just for that temporary pleasure in the moment. You know, because that shit do be banging, bro. You know, like all them, you know, them oily, fatty foods, right? Them burgers, them Philly cheesesteaks, pizza, all these different things, but it has to be done in moderation. All right. Because again, bro, that diet and just what we put into our bodies is very important. So let's go to the book of Sirach real quick. I didn't want to make this too long. All right, Sirach 30 and 14. Brothers had brought this out earlier. It says, better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. Okay. And so it's better to be poor and basically healthy, because sound, right? Sound going into whole. Stronger constitution, we'll grab that word constitution, and then a rich man that is afflicted in his body. So a rich man that's suffering and not healthy. So let's grab that word constitution real quick. Constitution, law, regulation, edict, body of rules, custom, or laws. Act of settling, settled condition, anything arranged or settled upon, regulation, order, ordinance. You know? And that's the thing, man. If we don't take care of our bodies, shit could be out of order. You know, they have a word in biology called, and I always remembered it, homeostasis. And let's try to see here. Homeostasis. It says, is the ability of a living system to maintain a stable, balanced internal environment, like temperature, pH, blood sugar, despite changes in external conditions, ensuring optimal functioning and survival through self-regulating processes. It says key aspects, internal stability. It's about keeping the internal conditions constant. It says it's not static. The body continuously makes small adjustments to stay in equilibrium, like sweating to cool down or shivering to warm up. It says it uses feedback loops, sensors, control centers, effectors to respond to disturbances. Failure of homeostasis can lead to disease or death, as seen in diabetes where blood sugar regulation fails. Yeah, bro. So, you know, it's the balance, stability. And having a balanced diet, you know what I'm saying, staying active, will just keep your body in regulation, you know. It help clear the high blood pressure, the diabetes, these different diseases that could be avoided if we just pay more attention to what we put in our body and what we do with our body. Going into that temperance and self-control that we must have within His truth. Yeah. So, let me see here. Let me just look this up. Ways to improve. Yeah. Let's see this. This is homeostatic lifestyle. Diabetes, heart disease, chronic tiredness, obese or overweight. Our lifestyle choices can lead to chronic diseases, joint pain, bad sex, depression, and poor quality of life. And Lord knows you don't want to have none of those. You know, the homeostatic lifestyle, rejuvenating sleep. Sleep is the foundation of health. A lack of sleep will impact mental and physical function. Lack of sleep kills sex drive. And how important is that? You know, especially for a young Jake, man. But even with the sexual urge, hey, we gotta. And I was just watching the elder out there in St. Louis, and Slovakia. His name always escapes me. But he was also going into going into the topic of being alone, as well as just overall self-control, self-discipline. All right, but yeah, man, that sleep. You know, hell, Lord, when I'll grab it after this. Just made a tea with some chamomile, and it's got a whole bunch of things. You can find it. You can find it on Amazon, but I got this one at the supermarket, Meijer. But I got chamomile, and then it's called it's like a sleep blend. You know, it's got valerian root, lemon balm, and a whole bunch of other stuff in there. But a simple search on Google, ways to improve sleep, right? Um, Hell, being more on your feet throughout the day can help you wind down later in the day, because that sleep is crucial, bro. Like, there'd be times to where I see it on bros too, but I deal with this where you don't get enough sleep, and then the next day you're groggy, foggy, just out of it, just cranky and shit. It affects your mood, and then you'll feel some type of wind of flesh wanting to do the work of the Lord, you know. But that's the thing we have to triumph and overcome, and pray to the Lord to for the strength, But that sleep, man, crucial. It says bioavailable eating and hydration. Your body works best when food and water are in their natural state. Remember, water and fruits and veggies count. Staying hydrated. Staying hydrated. And yeah, it comes from water, but it's really more than water. All right, you can get and that's something else we can look up as well. There's a picture, real quick, hydration. I just sent it into the chat. It was like a whole breakdown. We can grab some of this just to keep it on point. Hydrating foods. Watermelon, that H2O3. Watermelon, celery, cucumber, tomato, strawberries, cantaloupe, grapefruit, lettuce, radishes, zucchini, bell peppers, broccoli, oranges, spinach, peaches, blueberry, pineapple, apples, carrots, cabbage. You notice how they're all raw fruits or veggies, greens. Trying to stay away from the processed stuff. Speaking first and foremost to myself, bro, because you know how easy it is to go out and go grab something real quick. But, something that we could work on. Yeah, so let's go back. That third bullet point, freeing fitness. Exercise improves health in many ways. The best exercises are those you enjoy for the rest of your life. Yeah, and I had a bike on there. Brothers like to bike. Just, again, swimming. You name it. Walking your dog. Simple. But 4, positive mental outlook and stress reduction. Find meaning in your life and do things you enjoy. Also find ways to de-stress that work for you. And Lord willing, we'll grab it in that Apocrypha, But this truth, being the main de-stressor, man, having Yahweh Bashem Yahushua at the forefront of our lives, and he's going to keep us in perfect peace. And he's going to give you pockets of relief in the midst of the hell. All right, because being in the truth, we are going to go through it. Don't get it twisted. Hey, it's what we signed up for, is a suffering, partaking in the sufferings of Yahweh Shai. However, he'll give you comfort. He'll give you avenues to lessen the load, again, so to speak, or de-stress, You know your spirit. The Lord knows your spirit. And the last one, success planning. Set small, realistic goals. Stay away from weight goals and focus on how you feel. Clothes fit, medical markers. If you replace or if you relapse, get back up. And, to each their own when it comes to that. Because, yeah, maybe if you work towards that goal and you don't see it, you'll get discouraged and you end up relapsing. But if you just go about how you feel, because do you not know you're not your own selves? If you're overweight, bro. If you're doing well, eating well, getting in the gym, things of that nature. All right. But that's basically it to that. Let's go to the scriptures. Salakia. Sirach 30 and 15. It says, health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. Right. All right, because that person with all the health, all of the infinite wealth, if they have a plaguing the heart, and if things are bothering them with their body, how could they even enjoy their riches? Their mental is going to be so caught up in the hell, the suffering that they're catching within the body to even bask in all their riches. That's why there's no riches above a sound body, a whole body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. And with that joy of the heart, let's go down to 21. And the scriptures also say you could tell, a man by their own countenance. If the heart is merry, you'll be able to tell. You be in good spirits if your mental clarity is there. All right, and fasting plays a role in that. You notice when you fast, your mental's cleared. You feel more light on your feet. That brain fog goes away. You're closer, more in the spirit. But Sirach 30:21, give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. Yeah. Because we're our own biggest critic, but we also have to believe in ourselves, bro. Stop the self-doubt and pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, bro. Because if we believe on him, and it's impossible to please him without faith, all right? And we being sons of the Most High, being princes of the power, we have to have that self-confidence, bro. Don't let it boil over to arrogancy or pride. But goddamn, we got to carry ourselves with some type of pride in a good sense. All right, believe in ourselves and strive. That's it. But don't afflict not thyself in thy own counsel, because again, you could wallow in it, and you could discourage yourself from continuing on or even starting when it comes to your health or anything for that matter. But Sirach 30:22, the gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days. You see? So that no joy above the joy of the heart. And when you're sound, you're you're in a better case of being joyful. Full of vigor, with strength, full of testosterone. And how vital that is now. And that's why Esau Edom wants to attack it and pump us up with estrogen and all these different oils and things of that nature. All right, but we have the Lord set tools in place to combat Satan. All right, to combat the poisons that he's given us. All right, and we have Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, most importantly. But let's jump down to Sirach 30:25. A cheerful and a good heart will have a care of his meat and diet. Yeah, a good mind. A cheerful and good mind will have a care of his meat and diet. Because they work side by side. They have that saying, you are what you eat. And it's the spirit. We were talking about this earlier in the Apostle Har. I got to watch his video. But as we were talking, he posted a video entitled, Be Your Own Physician. Yeah, so we got to have care of our meat and diet. Be mindful. All right, and last one, Sirach 10:18. Oh, no, is it Sirach? No, I think it is Sirach. No, it's not. I think it's Ecclesiastes. Yeah. Bear with me, Salakia. It's Sirach. Ecclesiastes. I'm actually going to read this here in the blue letter. I'm curious to see what it says in NLT as well. Damn. I'll read this in the NLT first, but it hits harder in the KJV. It says, laziness leads to a sagging roof. Idleness leads to a leaky house. And Lord knows, both of the things aren't good, bro. But Ecclesiastes 10:18, by much slothfulness the building decayeth, And we could liken this building onto our bodies, bro. It's gonna decay away. It's gonna chip away. It says, and through idleness of the hands, the house droppeth through. All right. So just if we're sitting on our thumbs, constantly eating, you're gonna get big. You know, you're gonna run into health problems, health issues. All right. The house is bound to drop through. It's bound to, get weeds and shit start this being destroyed, cracking away. Vines growing up the side and shit. Got birds, different animals trying to build their habitat and shit. You've seen an abandoned building. But that's the thing, man. It's just, just some exhortation to stay active, stay mindful, and go to brothers. Go to brothers when you need help, and go to the Akim that are in tune. All right, that have the knowledge of when it comes to the herbs, when it comes to working out, right? When it comes to self-control, self-discipline, when it comes to fasting, different pointers on that. The brotherhood is there. It's an extension of Yahweh Shai. And we got to utilize it, man. Wear out the doorsteps. Because two is better than one, and iron sharpeneth iron. We all need help. We all need help till we fully be healed, all right, by that great physician, Yahweh Shai, and we be made fully whole, all right, with them new bodies, Lord willing, we be those elect men, women, children, but until then, hey, we got to put in the effort to take care of our temples, this temporary abode that he's given us, this temporal house. All right, but with that, hey, Lord willing, is edifying and exhorting unto you again, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors again to the apostles, elders, great millstone, Shalom, Wa, Kwam Yasharala, Wa, Abba, Soon.